Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. I salute Bhagavat Pada Shankaracharya, who is the repository of all the Vedas, the Puranas and the Tantras, who is compassionate and who does good to this world, the benefactor. Atmabodha, self-knowledge. We are on verse 56. Realize that to be Brahman, which is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, which is non-dual and infinite, eternal and one, and which fills all the quarters, directions, all that is above and below, and all that exists between. These are the, as I said, he's using those same words. Realize that to be Brahman. Yat tad Brahma iti avadharayati. Realize that to be Brahman. Or know that to be Brahman. Or understand that to be Brahman. As these are the closing verses in this treatise which Shankaracharya wrote, well, it is ascribed to him, and so towards the end he is giving that, as I say, the final knockout punches. He was playing with us for so long, when a champion, you can, and then towards the end he has to finish it off. So these are it's a crescendo. These verses are slowly, okay? So understand that to be Brahman. Okay, before we can go into this, everybody is using the word Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. Everybody is saying Brahman, Brahman. What is this Brahman? This word itself comes from the root Brihi, to grow, to expand, to pervade, and that which is the most extensive. That is the root from where the word Brahman has been derived. Brihi, large, massive. So realize that now. How do I realize that Brahman? I thought that Brahman was somewhere under this table or in that temple or in that church or in my heart. Everywhere there's that. And I've been searching for that Brahman. That Brahman is the reality. In Vedanta, Brahman is that reality. What is the reality? Existence, knowledge and bliss absolute. Now what is this existence, knowledge and bliss? Three things. These are just indicators. That which is existence is consciousness. And that which is consciousness has also the quality of bliss. So existence, it is one. It is not three things. And it is absolute. Now, how do we conceive of this absolute? We cannot. It's impossible. Our minds are not designed through evolution to conceive of the absolute. We were more concerned with what is around us. So there's no big tiger will come and pounce on me and eat me. So I have to run away before that tiger jumps on me. I have to be. So evolutionarily, we were not designed or tailored to understand the absolute. Yes. Now, take for instance another example. We see this universe so vast and it is growing. And is growing and what? Expanding. Reminds you of expansion, the most extensive, the Brahman. We cannot conceive of these things, even though you are told it is billions and billions of light years across in our own Milky Way. My God. Forget the whole universe. It's just, there's another language comes in called the mathematics. We can kind of understand that a little through this. These ordinary languages fail. So the absolute, what is the absolute? Is just a word for us. And what is that word? That Brahman, that reality is trying to be taught to us through these various, you can say, means that we know. We know existence. Nobody can say, I do not exist. We know it firmly. I exist. You may go to hell, but I exist. Yes. And I want to exist. How does that existence get reflected? I'm conscious of it. It's always existence. It's conscious of itself. And that, it's so blissful. It's not the sensory bliss we're talking about. This bliss is different from the sensory. The sensory bliss, you eat a piece of cake or candy, so blissful. That's not bliss. That is pain hidden that comes to you as bliss, happiness. So this bliss itself, if you see the quality of being, of existence, of Sat, Sat Chit Ananda, that itself, why? Because that consciousness itself is bliss. There's no happiness, no bliss like that you get in knowledge. It pales far into insignificance. Swamiji gives the example of a person and an astronomer. The person, he says, a dog is thinking, what does that astronomer do? He should eat and drink and be happy like me. What is that fellow doing there? Day and night, he's watching the skies, the heavens and mapping them, etc. What happiness is there? Happiness is in the senses. No, but we are humans. Our happiness, our bliss is in the intellect. And further, the bliss is in the self, the Atman itself. That is highest bliss. You cannot compare the bliss of the Atman with the bliss of this small kind of candies or cakes or whatever. So there are various instances, examples, etc. Even Swami Abhedananda had tried to argue with Shri Ramakrishna. And Shri Ramakrishna had said, you're one of the most intelligent of all of them. I want you to think of this deeply. And then here's the argument is what even those aboriginal tribes, and they roam about, move about happiness. And what's the difference between that happiness and the bliss that you think you have, the self and all? Can it ever be the same? And then he came, he meditated on that, and then he came and told Sri Ramakrishna, yes, I was wrong. Yes. So don't equate this happiness, sensory happiness, or this imaginary happiness to be bliss. This bliss of the self is different. You exist, all of us exist. We're conscious, and that itself is the bliss. Now, what about the absolute? I said, we cannot conceive of the absolute. Think of this whole universe, vast. We cannot conceive of it. We see pictures and we think that, oh, that Andromeda galaxy is somewhere nearby there. Huh. And the moon is somewhere down, just beyond these satellites, Earth satellites. Nah, they're very far away. We misjudge distances. That is the brain functioning itself. So, and existence, knowledge, bliss, Sat and Chit and Ananda, which is again non-dual. Now here comes Vedanta. How many existences can there be? There can be only one existence. One knowledge, one bliss. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Why? Because if you have many, then it will not be absolute, it will be relative. And anything that's relative, and it has always been seen, it limits each other. And not only limits, it will not become absolute, obviously. And again, infinite. So we have the ideas of duality. Everywhere we see duality. Everywhere. And this is what we see and this is what we know. At the same time, the mind has the capacity to intuit something which is opposite. This. Swami Vivekananda gives the example of, imagine a circle. When you imagine a circle, you have to imagine the circle, the space inside the circle, obviously. And by that same rule, you imagine space outside that circle. So we do have a kind of a faint intuitive understanding of something which is limited and something there which is unlimited, infinite. How is that possible? Yes, it is possible. Sometimes the mind, the understanding overrides what you see. It's very important. So, and this world we see, oh, it's relative, it's here, solid, absolute. That is interpreted by the brain, etc. And as I said, it was more interested in locality. I will clean my room. I will wash my clothes. I will this. I see that no ants are there, no bugs are there. All right, fine. And I'm happy. There's a vast world of bugs and ants out there, but they'll let them be out there as long as I blank out that large world. There's a large world of suffering going on, but I'm happy. How can that be? So we do try to compress ourselves, and at the same time, the mind, as I said, overrides what one sees. To give you an example, I think most of you have seen this. Roll a piece of paper and you put it on your, okay. What do you see? Okay. Now put your hand here and you will see that there's a circle on the palm. You can see the circle. Oh my God, what is this? You know that there is no circle in your palm. There's no hole in your palm there. The mind overrides the perception. And this is what is called, you know the illusion, and yet the mind says, nah. But of course, untutored minds will immediately, oh, there's a hole, oh. And you know, the very strangest thing is, suppose you take it here, and instead of your hand, put a picture of a face. You watch it, and then, or you put a picture of that, you watch it, you will see the mind is seeing a face in that hole there. It's amazing. Why? Because the brain wants to see, it's called some fusiform, some place in the brain, somewhere. It recognizes the face immediately. And something is called a Cheshire cat. You know, Cheshire cat in the Alice in Wonderland, like a Dizzy Perry cat. Sometimes you might see just eyes and the nose and the mouth, maybe. But generally you will see you know this. So within this illusion of seeing the whole and all, yet the brain wants to see things in a way that it can understand. So this absolute Brahman, who can understand this? That's why the mind wants to understand it through names and forms. It's called Nama Rupa. Every wave in the mind is associated. That is every thought. The thoughts are waves and emotions are waves. And everything in their mind and in their senses and everything is not a wave. The whole universe is a wave. Everything is waves. What waves? Oh, there are these electromagnetic so-called fields. Everywhere there are fields, they're dancing. But we do not see this. We don't want to see that. We want to see faces. Otherwise, how do I swim in this waves? So all these have names and forms. Whether you call them particles, whether you call them this, whatever you like to call it. They are all. So in this universe that we see, which is nothing but, it does not appear like this, what it is, at a fundamental level. But we want to see faces. And that's why you have something called a Facebook. Everybody wants to see your face and everybody else's face. Then you'll do FaceTime with them. This is marketing, you see. The Vedanta will immediately catch it. So you cannot imagine the extent, but the mind wants to hold on to some kind of understanding, a name and form. That's why it knows that there's no hole in the palm. Of course, I know I can see my palm. There's no hole in the palm. But it appears like a hole in the palm. But the faces. So similarly, this infinite and non-dual, oh my God, eternal and one, my brain, my mind needs to conceptualize this. And that is why we have in Vedanta, in the previous verses you said, the idea of the immanence of God also. These verses speak about the transcendental reality. But again, it has to be understood through these words. Just after the Vespers reading, saying, Swami Turiyananda saying, see how much power is there in words. Yeah, very powerful. You call somebody a fool and see what happens. You might get a knockout. You say something nice and then You get all the smiles and everything is a smiley, smiley. So words have that power. So these words, because we are not associated with those words that speak about the absolute nature, because there's no words there. That the mind cannot reach out there. Avang manasa gochara. The mind and speech cannot reach there. But yet it has to be understood through speech. And these are the words that, if you can understand the implications of these words, then you've taken the first step in understanding Vedanta. And which fills all the quarters. All the quarters, what quarter? Not that quarter, remember. We're not talking about money at all. We are talking about the east, west, north, south. And it's all that is, and above and below. Now this east, west, north, south, now again, we who are living down here can reference that. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. The sun does not rise in the east, nor does it set in the west. This is another hoax that you have been taught. But if you are not taught like that, you will not even understand morning, evening, night and all these things. And then north and south, these are just, you can say, like the lines of latitude and longitude. They do not exist. But they are useful. They are just tools. So the person standing on the North Pole does not have any east, west. The sun does not set there. It just, on the horizon, it just moves around. And then, so you can see. So this east, west, north, south, up, below, these are the directions. And these are where we are. For us to place it ourselves here, it is talking directly to you. So it is now locating you in a particular place. Okay. You are here when you go to any museum or anything, conference hall or even garden. You stand in front of that board and say, you are here. Huh. And we went that one time to the zoo here, and saying, you are here. Oh, okay. That is the body itself. But when you're speaking about the Brahman, nah. It is east and west and north and southeast. Now, again I said, this is a reference only to what we know. These are just reference marks. We are constantly spinning and falling. We don't know that also. But we think we are stationary. Constantly we are zooming around the sun, and the sun is zooming around so many other things and other things, and the whole galaxy is zooming around. We are not even aware of it. Of that. We think we are stable. You are here. How can that be? That is, it is true from a small local standpoint. But from the absolute standpoint, it is completely untrue. So this world is here. Now it's okay. But at a higher level of what? Of existence and consciousness and bliss. This world will not appear. You will not say, I am here. It cannot be. Oh, I am the Brahman, I am here. Oh, there comes Brahman. Oh, no. It cannot be. So this is how Vedanta is. Now, we're talking about how is this? We are here. Yeah. And they're saying the directions, it just means to say, just where is space? In space, there is no such thing as east, west, north, south. Again, I said, space is space. And everybody thought in the beginning, for thousands of years, we were at the center of the universe. Everything, all satellites went round us. Today also we think we are the center of the universe, all center of attention. And everybody should revolve around us. Yeah, that's a mistake that we do. Nobody is at the center. Everything is at the center. There are centers in all places and no centers at all. It's constantly vast thing. And what center you're talking about? The Big Bang. No, we are standing on the Big Bang. It cannot be. Big Bang happened at all places. However, let's not get diverted. This is the closest thing that you can use to explain the relative and the absolute. In people, they speak about, especially like in monotheism, they will speak about God without a form, but with qualities. Every thought, as I said, every wave has a name and form. And another thing that it has qualities. They will make that God the biggest of the big. Yes, big. And you cannot be touching the dirt of this world. So it keep him far away from it. Nicely he's lying down and he's being served by the Divine Mother. Oh, I see. Or he's meditating somewhere. What's this? These are just trying to tell you there are conceptions. Qualities will remain. So they cannot remain without speaking of it as either they'll have a name. This is what it is. They will say it's Jehovah. Oh, I see. He has no form, which is very good. But he has a name, and then he has qualities. Oh, he's so compassionate. He created this universe, etc., etc. So all these things means nothing but limitations. So whatever we think of God has to be limited. Whatever. It's only in Vedanta they say, no. Remove all names and remove all forms and remove all qualities. But what is this existence, consciousness? These are indications. When I say point out, look at that picture of Buddha or Christ. You see? Don't look at my finger there. Look at that. So these are we must understand this, the idea. You look at that picture, not look at this. Not look at me. So even existence, knowledge, bliss cannot be said of the Brahman. Finally, in the next verse we say, it is not this, not this. It is a negation of everything. And then all this is above and below and all that exists between, above, below and everything. That is, it is speaking about that same transcendental reality which also is everywhere. No, our God is transcendental. He has nothing to do with this. No. It is everywhere. It has to be. What everywhere? Even that itself is another kind of word which does not, it means here, it means in interactions and all. Here, there, everywhere. But even that cannot be designated to Brahman. And there are people who are saying, I am Brahman. Find out who's I. That cannot be. The I, how can that be? That Brahman is just a tool. And don't think that my stupid ego is my foolish ego. Everybody's egos are foolish in the sense of, because it is seeing things which are not there. In Hindi, in the Himalayas, amongst these sadhus, monks, there's a saying, "Jo dikta hai, wo nahi hai." What you perceived does not exist. And then they reverse it. जो नहीं है वही दिखता है. That which is not present at all, does not exist, that you see. So these words, they carry they're so kind of rich, full of implications regarding this. What you see, जो दिखता है, what you see does not exist. Then what exists? This Brahman, existence, consciousness. So it is now reverting you to that. And how do you meditate on this? Meditate on the vastness. Shri Ramakrishna, how do you meditate on the vastness? Meditate on the sky, as it were. It's vast. This is one of the, or the vast ocean. Anything that is vast, meditate on that. These are also symbols. The sky. Shri Ramakrishna will say, it's like a bird flying in the sky, untrammeled, unhindered, traveling, flying. Feel like you are that bird. Oh, meditation. Meditation is, you have to use these tools in order to break those conceptions itself. And at one point of time, as I said, the mind will override what you see. Oh, I saw the hole in the... No, there's no hole. The mind will tell you. No, what you see does not exist. जो दिखता है वो नहीं है. जो नहीं है, what does not really exist, it appears. This is what happens. This whole universe then just appears. It's an appearance. And how does it appear? And why does it appear? Don't get bothered with that. Vedanta is not interested in. It's just saying that, it appears because of reality. You see, you taste, you touch, you smell, you do everything because of that consciousness itself. Behind everything is that consciousness. And because there's a consciousness there, you've got to hold on to that consciousness which is behind the experiences. What is knowledge but experience? I see this is experience. Cognition. Every cognition is an experience. And then I look at it again and again I see, oh, I recognize it. Recognition. I recognize it. That Brahman, the note, please, those who are following, that Brahman is the all-pervading reality, is reiterated in the Vedas. It's in the Vedas, specifically in the Mundaka Upanishad. Compare. The immortal Brahman is before, that Brahman is behind, that Brahman is to the right and left. It has gone forth below and above. Brahman alone is all this. It is the Supreme. Brahma eva amrita. Brahma eva idam amritam. Purastad Brahma, Paschad Brahma. Adascha urdvam cha Brahma. So everywhere, this is in the Mundaka Upanishad. So it's again speaking like that knockout punch it's trying to give. It is spreading it all over the place. This is that Brahman. And why is this? It is removing all your conceptions about yourself, about God, about the world and everything. Now, can you imagine? No, you can't. And here comes the crunch, as they say. It says that consciousness and existence and bliss, etc., is that very thing. This, it is everywhere. And you are that. Difficult to stomach this. How can I be that? I am here. Like I went to the zoo and say, you are here. I went to another place and you are here. Where am I? I say, I am here and you are there. Oh. And suddenly you are told, no, you are not here. You are not there. You are not anywhere. What? As I said, Vedanta is not trying to water down anything. It will tell you exactly what it is trying to tell you. No, you are a little baby. Have a little. You crawl a little here, and then later I'll tell you. No, it's telling you now only. Better tell you now only. But we are just. There are some people. Oh, we are just glorified primates. Glorified. What glory is there? Humans. You're glorified chimps or something like that. Oh, imagine there's something which is there called consciousness there, which we can recognize. And that is an extremely powerful gift to this primate called humans. Man is a rational animal. There's plenty of rational. So that is a gift. That is what you need to explore. And these sages, they explored it. And when they explored it and they found, oh, it cannot be said you are here. You are there. What is this? It is there. Infinite, non-dual, eternal, and one that fills everything. He gives another quotation, which is one of the most famous quotations. That invisible Brahman is full. This visible Brahman is full. F-U-L-L. This full visible Brahman proceeds from that full invisible Brahman. On grasping the fullness of this full visible Brahman, there is left that full invisible Brahman. Full, perfect. Many translate it, that is perfect. That Brahman is perfect. This is perfect. This perfection has arisen from that perfection. And though it has arisen from there, it remains perfect. What it means to say is, remove the words that and this, because we are seeing things now here, we need to be told. Here this world, perfect. Is a full, Purna. Remember, see how the Buddhists say Shunya, empty. We will not say that. We will never say that. We will break every head which says of Shunya. No, it cannot be. Because the Vedas themselves are saying, it is perfect, it is full. It is Purna, not Shunya. So this perfection, this is perfection. Where does it come from, this perfection? From that. Where is that? It's here only. Now, the moment you use the word this and that, you immediately, oh, this here and that there. Don't throw those ideas that there and this here. That's a brain functioning, of course. So it is here. This is perfect. This itself is perfect. This perfection has arisen from that perfection. And though it has arisen from there, it continues in its perfect state. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. This is what it is. It's one of the most profound words of the Vedas. It's just, I don't know how these people, they experience it. And after experiencing it, what is astonishing is, how could they come and try to convey what their experiences through these things? They must have been really towering rishis, those great sages. Sometimes when I think of it, my God, how can that be? How is it? And because of this, the whole of the Vedanta scriptures has been possible. Those who experienced those things, they have gone, but they have left a legacy for us. And we have to inherit this. Why? Because this is the truth. This is, we see so many, the relative world imperfect. This relative world is limited. That's what we started, no? Direction, this, that, and it is manifold. Nah. This, what you see, is perfect. That has emerged from that perfection. So even if you extract this from that, what remains is perfection. Purnam, not shunyam, not emptiness. Cannot be emptiness. Because that is what the soul is. Your soul is pure and perfect. Oh, I thought I was in bondage. That itself is an illusion, like that hole in the palm. Now, your mind has to be trained in these thoughts, and then it will override what that hole in the wall, hole in the palm, hole in the palm. And the wall also can do. You can see it. Same thing. So the mind has to be reconditioned with the thoughts of these thoughts. The old thoughts of names and forms will be left aside. That is why one needs to meditate. It is deconditioning your mind and reconditioning your mind according to this. I think it's a bit heavy, but then you cannot can water it down. Just to give you just to closing arguments, you see, most of our the hymns, the stotras and all, any stotras, mainly like Advaita stotras, or even Dvaita and Vishtadvaita stotras, hymns, you will see the three aspects of reality being enumerated. The transcendental aspect, the immanent aspect, and the personal God aspect. If you ask any person who's untrained in this, what is this nonsense? They are speaking about in contradictory terms. There is no contradiction. Like even the hymn of Sri Ramakrishna, the opening hymn, the Vespers hymn, second hymn, third hymn also. If you can understand this main idea, the transcendental aspect, the immanent aspect, and the personal God. So the impersonal and the personal God is shown as one. So you will find that, okay, this is what it is. We pray to the Divine Mother, Holy Mother, and say, Thou createst, preservest, and destroys the universe. What? How is that? Look at her. If you look at this picture of Holy Mother, how can she create? That's what it is. from the immanent and the transcendental aspects. So that this transcendental aspect and immanent aspect of reality can be approached now through a medium. Do it. Or take another approach, which is very, 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 for the very few, approach that reality through the sense of I. Like Ramana Maharishi would say, find out who this I is. So you go to, that is much difficult. Oh yeah, because the I is very deceptive. As you can see, it's been deceiving you. So it's better to hold on to the personal aspect of God, knowing that behind it is its immanent aspect, and behind it also, not behind it, hidden within it, is that perfection, this perfection, that perfection. So before we can go, there's a question here. We'll make a few announcements saying that tomorrow is Karma Yoga Day at Tapovan, Saturday, from 10 a.m. And please go on our website for this. If the weather is good, work outdoors. And it starts with a small talk on Karma Yoga by Swami Brahmatmananda. And thereafter, you keep on working out there. It's a beautiful place. And you'll be lifted spiritually. Mother's Children, of course, Sunday, 9:50 a.m. 10 a.m. Sunday is Discovering the Real Temple with Q&A. 10 a.m. start. And evening 7 p.m. we have Ram Nam. After the winter recess, we are going to restarting. Greetings, Swami. How to meditate on sky or vastness? Meditate on sky. How? Imagine you are sitting down, say on, I don't want you to do another imagination of sitting on the mountain. Just sit down where you are. I think there's nothing around you. Just the blue sky, infinite. Everywhere you look with the mind's eye, it's just infinite. It's difficult. No, it's not. And don't try to visualize or imagine only in the front. This is the problem with all of us, humans. We've got an eye at the back of the head. All around. Try to see that blue sky even behind you. Vast, like you are there. Think like you are a small speck of dust that is being caught by the sunbeam and it is now floating. Think of it. Or like Sri Ramakrishna says, think like you're a bird. Small bird or big bird. Take an eagle and flying high and higher and higher. Ocean is the same thing. But don't think of it as choppy. Think of the ocean as still. Still like glass, calm. Think of it as vast. Look in every direction is just vast. That is the way. And only look, no. Identify yourself with that. Say, I am like the sky. That is a part of the meditation. And in the Upanishad, in some of the scriptures and Vedanta, they do ask you that. So there was one Krishna Kishore. Krishna Kishore was a great devotee, and he was a great Advaitin. He used to say, Ami Ka. That Ka is, I am like space. I am like space. And you know what space is everywhere. So one time, Sri Ramakrishna had gone to visit him and he saw him very morose. He said, what happened? Oh, the tax collector had come. And he's saying, if I don't pay the taxes, that's during colonial times. They'll take away all my pots and pans and all that. So Sri Ramakrishna was saying, let those rascals take away your pots and pans and everything around. You are space, you are car. So you may think, I'm like the infinite sky. Swamiji, in fact, translates some parts of the Avadhuta Gita. Like, I'm like that sky. Clouds of various colors come, play, and then go. But they leave that infinite sky. So when you're thinking of that, we may think during meditation, and at other times, we are worried about your taxes. Obviously. But it doesn't matter. You continue to keep on meditating slowly, slowly, slowly. Vajna. So when you live in a small room or a house, like Holy Mother and Sri Ramakrishna said, your mind becomes contracted. You come out, it expands. So there are thoughts which makes your mind small. We say in English, we say small-minded, large-hearted. This is exactly what it is. So you become large-hearted, contracted. The small-minded, always the small, take all the small things in life, all the grime and dirt and all, they will notice. They will not see the beauty of life. That is meditation. So keep on persisting slowly and slowly, 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 and they will see, I think, vast, the idea of vastness coming inside you. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.